Moral of the story? This whole situation that was revealed about Gilmar Mendes interfering in Neymar's call-up, det på ista spetsa managiwe sisto. Although I don't really believe in that, I don't really believe in what his son said. Although they have a lot of power, they're practically dominating the CBF. But I don't believe that he would have been that important with Lancelotti. Okay, fine. But he's in the eye of the storm. Everyone is talking about it. And if Gilmar Mendes loses power, and anything can happen, he'll even get kicked out of the CBF, okay? Listen to what I'm saying. I'm going to show everything here. Everything that's happening behind the scenes. Smash that like button, hit that like button hard, share it a lot, zap it, and for everyone who helps a lot, we get this and other news out to more people, okay? Guys, before anything else, I want to give you the opportunity, show you here the Slim Fever. I always put the video here, the one I made in the last few days, 2 kilos in a day. Then people say, no, it's just water and stuff. Look at the images. Look at my face. Look at my face. I only sell the product here because I fully trust it. Look at my face. Look at the image. This really works. It's not even been a year. It hasn't even been a year, really. I know what I'm talking about. Look at my pants. My pants, look how loose they are. And look, they're already here. I don't even wear a belt. Look. You can fit a hand in here. The product works, obviously, but the person has to have, discipline. Dieting is like this. We have to plan. But it helps a lot, guys. I lost 20 kilos. 20 kilos, right? After 40, it's harder for us to lose weight. It really is more difficult. Even working out every day, and I wasn't able to lose weight. Focus, discipline, I managed to lose it. The pictures speak for themselves. Look at my face. My face is totally different, right? So it's worth it. If you don't want to miss this opportunity, an easier way, natural, extremely natural, it's positive. What you put in, right? Yeah, especially with those greasy meals, it will help you get rid of fat to lose inches. The link is right below. A great opportunity to lose weight in a healthy way, with quality of life. It changes everything. Pants that didn't fit before start to fit. Our self-esteem gets much higher. That's a fact, right? Link right below here for those who don't want to miss this opportunity to lose weight today, okay? It was revealed how Gilmar became a partner of the CBF, played a decisive role in Edinaldo's downfall, and maintains ties with the organization. Owner of the institute that has had a contract for years with the Brazilian Football Confederation. Of course, Gilmar won't comment, right? It was being announced here that Gilmar Mendes' son about Neymar's call-up, that he was decisive, that he was bragging, saying it was because of him and all that. I'm the one who ordered Neymar to be called up. I pulled some strings and all that. I don't believe in that, That was already a choice. It was the player's choice. I really believe that the players like Neymar a lot, not Gilmar Mendes' son. But it's not that they don't have power. Deltan Dallagnon made a fantastic video talking about this. Let's take a look, okay?
I called up Neymar. Who said that? No, it wasn't me, nor was it Carlo Ancelotti, the coach of the Brazilian national team. It wasn't Neymar's father either. Do you know who it was? It was Francisco Mendes, the son of Supreme Court Justice Gilmar Mendes and the real boss of the CBF. How did the son of a Supreme Court Justice, whom absolutely nobody knows, become the one who really runs the CBF? Come with me, because this is a story that's hard to believe in just 2 minutes. In 2023 Gilmar Mendes' college, IDP signed a contract with the CBF, which gave it 84% of the revenue from the CBF Academy, which is the largest educational institution in Brazilian football. Just that year, the CBF Academy made over 9 million reais in 2023.
The college in 2023. The year Lula took office, that's when Gilmar got stronger in the CBF. The year Lula took office. One thing is a fact, the CBF's Instagram has been liking several posts from the PT. Everything is connected. It's all entrenched. STF, ministers, PT, Lula, everything. This is not a normal election. When Gilmar Mendes,
The IDP signed a contract with the CBF that gave it 84% of the revenue from the CBF Academy, which is the biggest educational institution in Brazilian football. Just that year, the CBF Academy made over 9 million reais. When Edinaldo, the president of the CBF who signed the contract, was removed for fraud, where did he file his appeal? At the Supreme Federal Court, it landed with Gilmar, who didn't recuse himself, and put him back in the position. Minister André Mendonça, in the Supreme Court plenary, said what all of us were thinking.
The impression is that the CBF wouldn't withstand an investigation.
But Gilmar didn't care. Edinaldo ended up being ousted for good, and that's when the story really began.
Did you see what André says here? André, look, André is the big shot at the Supreme Court today.
The impression you get is whether the CBF would withstand an investigation, but it's tough, whether the CBF would withstand an investigation.
That's it.
That's what everyone
Was thinking.
The impression is whether the CBF would withstand an investigation. In other words,
André also targeted the CBF. André targeted the CBF. Calm down. He's going to get into every sector, okay? Let's go, André.
But Gilmar didn't care. Edinaldo ended up being ousted for good. And that's when the story really began. A guy named Samir Chaudh appeared, an unknown figure from Roraima. 32 of the 40 largest clubs voted against him, but he proceeded anyway. Cruzeiro magazine discovered that Chaudh, an IDP student, was grilled by Gilmar. It's believed he was chosen for being the most willing to represent the Mendes family.
And the Mendes family. At the CBF, we got rid of Ricardo Teixeira. But it's true that the CBF never really had a good reputation, right? Samir Chaudh, this man with the mistresses that Leo Diaz exposed, he has several mistresses from Roraima. What does Roraima have in football? The state isn't unimportant, but it has no significant clubs. I've never seen Roraima compete in the Brazilian Championship. Yet someone from there becomes president of the CBF? I've never seen Roraima in the championship.
And Gilmar's son, Francisco Mendes, he's a partner at IDP along with his father. He was elected vice president of the Mato Grosso Federation. And today, there is no department at the CBF.
Another one from the state. What team in Mato Grosso is really important? Not that, once again, not that it's not, but... So he doesn't send so many?
Without anyone from IDP, executive director, financial, legal, they all come from Gilmar's college. According to Globo, besides Gilmar's son being the real boss of CBF, he's making moves to become the next president of the Confederation. While Brazil plays in the 2026 World Cup, the one leading the delegation in the United States is not the president of CBF, but it would be Francisco Mendes. The problem isn't Gilmar Mendes. Any minister could do this. What's absurd is this interference. A minister picks the Confederation's president and directors, and his son acts like the future CEO. A Brazilian with no position, mandate, or vote. This is what you see in a banana republic, a country that isn't serious. What it looks like is that in the political game, and even in Brazilian soccer, the ball has an owner. Very few people know about this. A lot of people go to watch the national team play and have no idea what's happening behind the scenes.
Which is absurd, right? But to change all of this, the players themselves, right, especially the most important ones, have to spill their guts. Those guys matter more than these guys. Way more important. They talk about Corinthians democracy, but it was just us, Socrates, democracy. Then comes that bootlicker Casagrande saying, I was part of the democracy. Democracy? That these guys don't have the courage today to stand up to this. Where's Casagrande, who talks so much about his stuff? There's no more, no more, no more, no more, no more, no more. Where is he on this? Where's Nito? Natal. He's supposed to be so tough, not manly. Oh, ZK. Look at ZK. Look at Zeke playing soccer. Why doesn't he say that on his show? Have you noticed? Neto isn't the guy who says, you're kidding, you're kidding. Look what happened, ZK. Remember when Bolsonaro went to make a donation for our people in Rio Grande do Sul who had gone through the biggest catastrophe. The year before, they had already gone through the biggest catastrophe. Then, if I'm not mistaken, 2024 came. It was that terribly sad catastrophe. Bolsonaro goes there, guys, I'm going to talk to the people over there in Campinas, Guarani. Everyone goes there, bring donations, I'll be there. It was that sea of donations for our state of Rio Grande do Sul. There's Neto, Guarani. I'm not going to be the star player anymore, huh? I'm not going to be the star player anymore. You know? Do you understand? Guarani. I'm not going to be the idol anymore, huh? I'm not going to be the idol anymore, Guarani. Nito? With all due respect now, why don't you stand up to the CBF? Do you think it's right for a Supreme Court minister to be sending his son there? It looks bad for Gilmar if he goes there and shows his face and all that. So he sends his son. This whole story that Mendes made public. That's Gilmar's employee I'm seeing there. He's Gilmar's employee. Where are you, Neto? Straight talk there. Straight talk. Straight. Where are you, Gil? Hey, Nito.
That everyone says Minister Gilmar Mendes is the one who sets the rules at the CBF?
See?
So it's him, Gilmar Mendes. Actually, his son Francisco Mendes. He's the owner of the Institute for Development of Pestiljas.
This is a college that has a contract.
That has funding.
College that manages the college.
Okay.
It's a college that manages the CBF Academy. It's an educational institution focused on training sports professionals.
There you go. Would it be that Samir, the fake one? Is that it? And then I say something, right? Leo Diaz, you can say whatever you want about Leo Diaz. He has courage. He exposes everything. Give Leo Diaz his due. But there's this, there's that. No, I commend his courage. The guy is brave. Brave. He has to be brave. He's not afraid. Not afraid. He exposes. Then the tough guys, the guys are straight shooters and all. Where's Casagrande? Talking about Neymar is easy. No, talking about Neymar is easy. It gets likes. For those who don't like Neymar, you know, he's the democracy guy, right? Open quotes democracy, close quotes. I want to see you talk about Gilmar. About this outrage that's happening in there. Guys, what does Gilmar Mendes have to do with the CBF? What does it have to do with it? But these guys, they don't have the guts, do they? They don't have the guts. They talk so much, right? So much, right? Look there. Lauro Jardim's column. Francisco Mendes, son of Gilmar Mendes, who is now the real boss at the CBF, revealed to several people without any hesitation who was responsible for bringing Neymar back to the national team. I was the one who called Neymar up. Again, I say, I don't believe that, right? I don't believe that Lasro would sell himself like that. I don't believe it. There's something really wrong, guys. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense that Gilmar is the real boss of our Brazilian national team. From right here. From our team. There's no reason for something like this. Right? Can you imagine if it were anyone close to President Bolsonaro? Here, look. If it were someone close to him. I wear this shirt with a lot of pride. No. Can you imagine the fuss the press would be making? But when it's Gilmar, everyone stays silent. Imagine if it had been someone close to President Bolsonaro, Neto. Neto? What would Neto do? But Gilmar? What would he do? Imagine if the national team doesn't make it to the next rounds. Don't blame the player. It's cowardly to blame the player. The player is there, playing soccer and all that. What goes on behind the scenes? I'll return to discuss this video. Hit that share button. Show it to more people. That's an atrocity. That's outrageous. And did you see André? Did you guys see André? There's still a lot to happen under this boat. I really trust André. Fact. I'm back with updates on the Pieza Filhos channel, Fabiano Gigay.